That's me. I was young then. That's a picture of my dad, Wadey Suttles. That's my mother, Jessamine Suttles. That's the first day of the trial. That's Dr. Brooks. Dr. Brooks was a fighter back then. That's Tom Kennedy. That's Annie Thomas. Lorenzo Irvin. That was a one-day conference on police brutality and racism that we had. They caused a great big uproar in the city hall. They said we shouldn't have communists in our meeting, and that they were going to investigate us because we had revolutionaries and communists in our meeting. So. It's part of a side session there. I'm not sure what this is doing in here, Ray.
That's the house that got blown up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Blowing up houses is another thing they did to keep the public terrorized.
Okay, that's Dr. Jack Adams' autopsy, death certificate. My father's death certificate there. And this is one I think is really important because this was written by Jonathan Rowe from the criminal section of the United States Department of Justice. And he says, on April 23rd, 1985, I was contacted by Jackie Shelton of the Chattanooga City Attorney's Office. Now, if you don't know who Jackie Shelton is now a judge at the circuit court up in the county. Regarding the Wadey Suttles matter, Ms. Shelton represents the city in the Section 1983 civil suit filed by Suttles family and is presently set for trial in September 1985. Ms. Shelton has been experiencing difficulties with the mechanics of a FOIA request to obtain FBI reports pertaining to this matter and wondered if an informal arrangement might be reached. I advised Ms. Shelton that a substantial likelihood exists that we would be communicating some information about our investigation to the criminal side of the city attorney's office fairly soon. Ms. Shelton decided that in light of the apparent lack of any sales-type boundary between the civil and criminal people in her office, she would hold off on her FOIA request and wait to see if we send any information. What's interesting about this is it talks about the criminal side of the city attorney's office. There is no criminal side of the city attorney's office. The city attorney's office is meant to protect the city council and the mayor's administrative functions, not any criminal matter. That should have gone directly to the DA's office or to the United States Attorney if it had to for prosecution. So you can go to the next one. That's a letter where all of the city commissioners asked for the FBI investigation. And Mayor Gene Roberts, who was orchestrating this whole thing. Gene Roberts was an FBI agent. Matter of fact, he'd been accused of, you remember Geronimo Pratt? He'd been accused of being the one who orchestrated that investigation that kept Geronimo Pratt in prison in Los Angeles for so many years. That's me, my mother, Lorenzo. Okay, this is the FBI's information. It says enclosed for the DOJ is a copy of a letter dated May 14, 1985 from the city of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Fire and Police Commissioner L.T. Tom Kennedy, and to SAC, sat as William T. Duran, Knoxville Division, requesting certain FBI documents for his use in a homicide investigation into the death of Wadey Suttles. And that's the letter that he sent. And you see the blacked out places are information that the FBI had, the Department of Justice had, and he was requesting that information, called himself doing an FBI, an investigation. That's not an investigation. That's the same sort of thing. What is that?
It's got your name on it.
I think that's the letter saying that our lawyer didn't have the information that they sent to us in 1988. That he didn't have it when he went to trial. I think that's what that is on the back of that. Is that where we had it highlighted at the bottom? Okay, that's why it should have been the other disc.
It shows up.
It's over there. And this is where a young man was walking by Tennessee Temple, and he was arrested by the police, and they patted him down, put him in the back seat of the patrol car, and he supposed to have shot himself in the stomach with his hand scuffed behind his back. I can't remember his name now, but he's on our body count. That started another controversy. I don't think you were here. This is Freeman Cooper's statement to the FBI. He's the one who picked my dad up from the hospital the second time and brought him back to jail. That's still part of that. That's where they took my dad to the hospital the second time, where he was in a wheelchair, complaining of pain all over his body, and then they explaining the treatment. That's the second time. This was the first time. That's where they gave him Vistra 25 milligrams intravenously. And it said by police report, patient something in jail, been acting bizarre in jail, and I can't see that. Oh, had altercation with police and fell off the bunk. That's December 1st. That's important because they're trying to say December 2nd was when he fell off the bunk. And that's, tell them what that is. Tell them what that is.
All right. The Ku Klux Klan locally used to meet in the bank building at the corner of Market and Main Street. And when the building was being redecorated, they found on the second floor these big murals. They're about 6 feet high, painted on all 4 walls of the building. And the person doing that thought that that was an embarrassment to Chattanooga and hurriedly destroyed them, but I got in and got a picture of this one before they got it destroyed.
It was Clark Road.
Yeah.
And who is this?
This is just a picture of a Klan group meeting. That they used to have these regularly all around Chattanooga. This is a Klan charter that was found in an abandoned house in Avondale. This was Shelton, the Alabama head Klan man that was active in the 60s. He was responsible for organizing a lot of the groups in this area. This is Dalton Roberts, who compared Lorenzo and Maxine and their friends to like a black Ku Klux Klan. This is a protest against the situation in Chattanooga. You'll note the sign of the Klan and the cops go hand in hand. The Ku Klux Klan came to Chattanooga to have a demonstration to show support for the local police. They did this right at City Hall.
That's the revolutionary they were upset about.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the only one though, but they were real upset about that. That's the same one-day conference that Lorenzo was talking about. We had a tribunal. We had a people's tribunal. And they found the cops guilty. That's the revolutionary books and stuff. They were mad at us. Of course, we had literature to call this place Choker Nigger, Tennessee. And that's a Klan rally where Dalton Roberts and Gene Roberts and all of them told all the people to stay at home. But you know, the people in the city of Chattanooga showed up that day.
What year was that? What year was that?
That was 1987. It was right before we filed a lawsuit to change form. It was August, I believe. Change form of government. The Guardian Angels who were there, they came here after we went to Forsyth County when Hosea Williams was thrown out of Forsyth County, and you know there was a national demonstration in Forsyth County. So they came to Chattanooga and stayed here a while. They were at the rally. It was during this same time though that we found out about Byron D. LeBeckwith living here. I think was the chief of police at that time told us about that, because we had to have protection at our houses, and you know, they had to come watch us because there's a lot going on. And they were talking about us being, you know, mad because we were revolutionaries, and mad because we were standing up for ourselves, I guess. And start talking like we were the Klan. I'm not a Klan member, but you know, well, I guess you know I'm not a Klan member.
This was going on out at Chattanooga City Hall.
Yeah, but you know, I never killed nobody and done some of the things and murdered people the way the Klan did. But Dalton Roberts and Gene Roberts were using that as a way to keep people away from the Klan counter demonstration. But people did show up. The leaders didn't show up, but the people showed up, and that's important.